Did you just say la-ti-da?
I think so. I think I did.
I know you did.
Well, we're learning a lot about me.
We generally do learn a lot about you.
La-ti-da. Betsy, it's been a while.
It has.
I feel like we were on sabbatical or something.
Ironically, we were not on a break at all. We just were on a break from this. Life has not been on a break lately.
No, life has been moving fast, but we're back now.
As fast as an airplane moves.
And very often that fast,
yeah,
exactly.
30,000 feet in the air.
Since we spent a lot of time on airplanes.
That's true.
But here we are, back in the studio. Oh, it's a studio. Don't roll your eyes at that. This is a legit studio operation, professional setup.
I really wish everyone in podcast land could see the studio that you have put a lot of love and a lot of work and time into.
Let's take a studio selfie right now so that we can post it on the Facebook page and show people just how cool our studio is. That's a...
Wait, I kind of looked scary in that. Can we take another one?
No, we're committing to that. We're not...
That's not good. You look terrible in that photo.
Well, thank you. That's really courteous of you. Let's try that again. Aren't you the one who said our intros are getting too long? Yeah, see, that looks really, really legit.
Yeah.
Little do people know
that it's 112 degrees in this room where we're sitting right now.
And that our cool soundproofing background is just a mattress pad that I bought on eBay. It might be that they're going to know now.
They're for sure going to know now.
For those of you that have been complaining about our long intros, hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Betsy.
And this is Guy Talks.
Girl rolls her eyes.
And this time, we are going to be talking about the latest craze.
It's relevant. Our podcasts are not often relevant, but this one, relevant. To some people, not to me, but to you.
Well, to, frankly, millions of humans across the planet.
Which boggles my mind.
Fast approaching the same number of users as Twitter.
No.
Yes.
How do you know that?
I just read it.
Where?
On the interwebs.
Okay, so clearly it's all factual.
Well, they have, I think something like 35 million registered users already.
When did this start?
It's only been out in the U.S. for 2 weeks.
Because I didn't even hear of it.
Well,
which is not surprising.
For those of you who would tend to be more on Betsy's side than on my side, you probably still don't know what we're talking about. Everybody else who's a little more Matt than Betsy, in other words, all the geeks out there, obviously know.
Or anyone under a certain age level.
Yeah, or if you're younger than 24. You obviously know we're talking about Pokemon Go, the hot new app on everybody's phones that's blowing up.
I mean, I feel like we should be careful using phrases like the hot new app.
What's not hot about it?
Well,
Millions of people are signing up and using it everywhere.
I mean, that's true.
Have you not seen the hordes of zombie-like humans?
I have not. You talk about this in the office every day, and I have seen none of this. I do not. I drive down the lakefront every day, and you all make it sound like there's like a zombie apocalypse and everyone is just like walking aimlessly, but I've never seen it.
So I've only seen one herd.
Is that what we're calling them?
I'm referring to them as a herd.
Okay.
Because I really like I really like the zombie apocalypse analogy, and
surprising that I made it.
I was really good. That was one of the geekier things you've done. But on The Walking Dead, which is one of the best zombie shows ever made.
I've never seen it.
Oh, so good.
No, I've never seen it.
They call a very, very large group of zombies traveling together, which happens, a herd. There's sort of a herd mentality that they get into, which is very dangerous. You don't want to get caught near a herd or a swarm or a stampede, but whatever you're going to call it. I saw one of these over on Innovation Drive in like the business park area over there. There's a bunch of big corporate headquarters out west of the city. And I had a meeting over there.
Oh, I know where this is going, I would guess.
I'm driving through the little business park area. And, it's made up so it feels a little bit like a park, but it's really just pretty lawns that the companies own. And on a corner, on a sidewalk, not close to anything, apropos of nothing, there's like 25 people like just corporate busybodies hanging out on this corner.
Corporate busybodies of what age range?
There was a fairly broad age range, but many of them I would call young professionals.
Okay, so like 2 or 3 years out of college at most.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But there were some older folks, not like my parents' age or anything, but like, let's call them my age, older folks.
Okay.
But they're all standing around in very close proximity to one another, like there's something going on, which there was, but not in the real world. And they're not talking to each other. They're just all staring at their phones. And you can tell they're playing Pokemon Go because their phones are held way up high here, but also out away from them a little bit. It's very obvious they're not texting because they're holding them up like this, trying to flick their little Pokeballs at a Pokemon, trying to catch them. And there must have been, I don't know, like a unique or rare Pokemon that had popped up there, and everybody texted their friends, like, get down here and catch this Jigglypuff or whatever. But it was the first of these little herds that I've seen. Now, Alyssa saw one down, I think she was at Lake Park. She
was running the trails, the same trails that I run, and yet I still have never seen it. And there is a great trail that runs through, up from the top of Lake Park down to like Lake Drive.
Yeah.
And there's these great like stairs, and apparently she found like 100 people.
Yeah.
And she promises
Camped
there was
out.
at least 100 people that were camped out and were like, had their stereo with them and were playing the Pokemon theme song,
Which is so great.
in the woods. Is it great?
It is. But by the way, the same
Throw
article.
the word "great" around like it is just
It is great.
dime
And
a dozen.
You know how I feel about geeks, and this is such a great geek cultural explosion. Like, people are diving into it and getting instantly
I
obsessed.
would agree that it is a cultural explosion.
And here's what I love about it. So a lot of these geek subcultures and communities that get created, where like the LARPers of the world get together. They get together behind closed doors, like in secret,
Right,
or they
because they're a little bit afraid of what everyone else is going to say.
right, or they just sort of hide out or don't tell anybody that they're into it. They just like pursue this interest on their own in secret. But what's cool about Pokemon Go is it's forcing people, if you want to dive deep into this, you have to leave your house and go where people are. Like, that's how it works. You can't just sit on your couch and play Pokemon Go all night. You have to walk around, and you have to go to places where other people are also going to go, because the lighthouse overlooking the lake is a Pokemon gym, and if you want to do anything with this game, you have to go hang out there. And it's forcing people, I suspect, to strike up conversations with people that they meet there, to maybe laugh a little bit. Alyssa said there's 100 people all hanging out in the park listening to Pokemon music, probably laughing their butts off about the fact that they're in their 20s and 30s and sitting in a park listening to Pokemon music. Like, I think that's really kind of cool.
I would not disagree with that. That will probably surprise you, but I will not disagree with that. But my larger question is, can you explain it to me?
Yes.
Because as you know, I've never seen it before. I did actually just have lunch with your wife earlier today, and she also does not understand it.
Yeah.
But one of the girls we were having lunch with was doing it while we were having lunch.
Did she catch a Pokemon while you were hanging out?
I believe so. I don't really know. But then she kept blaming it on her daughter and kept saying, I started it because my daughter was really interested in it.
Right.
And then your wife called her out and said, your daughter is 4. I don't really know if she's really the mastermind behind why you're doing this.
Yeah, that's a tough one to explain.
Even when we were walking
away.
to our cars, I mean, she's like,
yeah, well, and it's especially when you're walking. Like, that's because if you just sit in one place, you're not going to catch anything.
so
here's how it
how
works.
do you catch them?
So here's how it works. There's two aspects of the Pokemon Go game. Aspect number one is the catching of the Pokemon, and this is very much what Pokemon always. It's the addictive part of what Pokemon was back in the day, before it was an app, like when it was just a card game. It's the collector's instinct, right? Like people who like to collect things. I got to catch them all, like that.
Like
whole,
people that collect stamps,
right?
Baseball cards.
Same mentality. So there are hundreds and hundreds of different types of Pokemon, and each one is a little creature, and it's got its own unique personality and sort of statistics and strengths and stuff. And
Does it come with a baseball card?
Well, it used to, right? But not a baseball card. It was a Pokemon card.
Okay.
So before you had this app and all the technology we have now, originally Pokemon was a collectible card game. And so you would collect all these cards.
I actually always thought it was a cartoon.
Well, it was also. This is how they sold the cards.
All right.
So this is why Pokemon made millions and millions of dollars 15 years ago. This is a resurgence of Pokemon. It's not new. So when it originally came out, it was like this marketing genius thing. People were talking about how all their kids were brainwashed by Pokemon because they'd watch these cartoons and then they would feel like then they would need to go buy these cards, right? So it was
marketing genius.
It was. It really was. It was the equivalent of me watching He-Man and then saying I needed Castle Grayskull action set or whatever,
Right, which you did need.
which I did need.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But it was even more of a marketing. It was even more brilliant marketing because they just kept pumping these things out, and so you had hundreds and hundreds of different kinds. So they just kept
making them up?
Just kept inventing them. Yeah, like there are the most ridiculous, stupid Pokemon you've ever heard of.
We've talked about this once before, like clouds and chairs and
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, like, we made all the animals that we know of into a Pokemon. Like there's even a Pokemon that looks like a platypus. Like they've literally exhausted every single animal they could think of. And so then they're like, well, let's make a Pokemon that's just like made of sludge. Like just a pile of sludge.
Like Slimer
let's
from
make
the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, let's make a Pokemon that just looks like a cloud. Let's make a Pokemon that's like a weird fairy. Let's make a Pokemon that's just made of ice. Let's make a Pokemon that is like a scary ghost. So like it would... They have literally no shame. So like, let's make a Pokemon that's an ear of corn. Let's make a Pokemon that's a chair that talks. And the cool thing is it takes zero development to do this on their part because all a Pokemon is just a thing and it doesn't say anything except its own name. So like if your Pokemon is named Charizoo or whatever and it's a little chair, it just goes Charizoo, Charizoo, Charizoo. And that's all you have to do to put it in your cartoon. You just have to draw a chair that moves around a little bit and says its name over and over again. So they kept launching new Pokemon and new Pokemon and new Pokemon, which meant all the little kids had to go buy the next card and the next card or the next set of cards and collect them all. Now, fast forward.
Are we getting to the interesting part?
Fast forward 15 years, and now you've got Pokemon Go, which is riding a wave of nostalgia from folks Alyssa's age who grew up, and me on the tail end. On the tail end,
you were into it.
Yeah, who watched the cartoon and collected the cards, and were like, "Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this Pokemon thing. So fun! I just caught a Jigglypuff, and I'm really excited about it because that's my favorite." Right? So the first...
Is that your favorite?
Yeah, Jigglypuff is the best.
A Jigglypuff.
It's the cutest of the Pokemon, too.
What is it?
I'll show you a Jigglypuff. It literally is looks like a little marshmallow. It's like a little pink...
Oh, I do like marshmallows.
It's like a little pink marshmallow. It's like the most adorable little thing. It doesn't look like it could possibly be harmful.
Are any of them harmful?
Well, they're all meant to fight. Okay, so wait. So here's the first part is the collecting. And in the app, you collect Pokemon, you catch Pokemon by walking around, and the app shows a little map of where you are right now, and it uses Google Maps. It's tied directly to Google Maps. The company that manages the GPS portion of this is a spin-off of Google. Like the CEO of that company used to work at Google. He helped design Google Maps.
Let's also just mention that as you open this, they have they have a warning.
Yeah, they have the warning to be aware at all times.
Please be aware of all times. Yeah. Please be alert of your surroundings.
And that's really important because there have already been car accidents caused by Pokemon Go.
They're covering their own butts. That's very smart of them.
People walking into poles, falling into construction holes, people have already gotten hurt.
Because people are so obsessed with staring at their phone while they're walking.
Yes. Which, frankly, let's face it, is not just a symptom of Pokemon Go.
Oh, no, certainly not.
But it's not helping.
Not helping.
Not helping.
Not helping at all.
So here's the first element. You can see
there's a little map. The river right by our office.
Yep, so this is the actual GPS map of where we are right now. Yep. There's the boat launch.
There's the boat launch, okay.
And so as you physically walk around in the world, your little character walks around on this representation. And every once in a while, when you get...
Did you make that to try and look like you?
No, this is just a generic...
It doesn't look like you.
There's only two choices for characters. So it's a boy and a girl.
Oh,
that's
okay.
It. Or probably a gender fluid. It's hard to tell if this is a boy.
Okay.
Anyway, as you walk around, this little pulse is going on around you, and it's detecting Pokemon that might be in your area. So when a Pokemon is close to you, it suddenly pops up on your screen and your phone vibrates, and that's when this switches to your camera. So it turns on your camera.
Wait, so do you have to have this app open all the time?
Yes, if you want to be collecting Pokemon, you have to keep the app open.
Oh, jeez.
So it doesn't just
But you don't have to have the screen up.
No, so you can put battery saver on. There's a battery saving function that'll closed off your screen, but it still vibrates when a Pokemon is close. But here's the part that people get that makes this kind of a cool, not new, because augmented reality has been around for a while, but the thing that people are excited about, it's the first time it's been incorporated well into a game. It's very simple. It's nothing fancy, but it turns on your camera, and then, so as you're moving around and looking at your screen, just like you would if you turned the camera on, you can see everything around you, obviously. Mm-hmm. But the app drops a superimposed image of whatever Pokemon you found onto the camera image. Charizard, sure.
Oh.
Or Charizu, yeah.
Charizu.
The Pokemon that I just invented that's shaped like a chair.
Got it.
So Charizu.
Oh, that's not really one of them?
No, I just made that up.
That's actually kind of sad to me.
I'm going to email them. It's a really good idea.
Charizu. Yeah.
So Charizu would show up on your camera like he was there in the world. He's not.
Well, that's kind of neat.
Just so you know.
That's kind of neat.
Yes, but that's augmented reality. That's the concept. And so then you literally use your finger to like flick an imaginary, what they call a Pokeball, which is this little red and white ball. You flick that to throw it
Looks like a life preserver.
Yeah, kind of. The idea is in the cartoons, if you hit one of these Pokemon with the Pokeball, it like sucks it in and traps it. So then it's your Pokemon and you can use it. It like, I guess it becomes your slave or like your friend, or I don't know.
Is that how you have to get friends? You have to
capture them with a Pokeball
them in order to make friends. That's sad. We should talk about different ways for you.
I prefer using
your social
weird anime magic to get my friends. Magic balls.
This does not surprise me.
So this is just element one of the game, right? And it's how it starts. So you're gathering Pokemon, you're collecting them. So like here you can see on my Pokemon list all the Pokemon that I've already captured.
You have 44 of 250.
Yeah, I've captured 44 Pokemon. I actually captured a lot more than that.
You have 9 of 9 eggs as well.
Yeah, I'm carrying some eggs, Pokemon eggs. They'll hatch once they're incubated. Anyway, we don't need to get into all the details of this, but suffice to say, you catch these Pokemon, and for some people, this is enough of the game to get really excited about.
You caught Drowsy.
Yep.
Grimer.
Poliwag. Slowpoke.
Seal,
he's kind of cute.
Slowpoke.
Oh, wait, we were going to look at Jigglypuff. There's Jigglypuff.
Oh, Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff is a fairy-type Pokemon.
Slightly scary, actually.
Yeah? Are you scared of Jigglypuff? He's got like a little...
He kind of looks like a
his hair.
piggy bank.
He's got a little curly hair on his head. Pretty cute. That's a pretty cute Pokemon. Okay, he weighs just under 5 kilograms, just so you know.
Which is great, yeah. He's not very tall either.
Less than half a meter tall. Yeah. So here's the idea. You can see where I caught him. Yeah.
Why do you need to know that?
These are just the things that they put in the app.
All right.
But for some people, this is enough of the game to have a lot of fun with. Like they just want to catch. It's the collecting mindset, right? Like we go around and catch them all. I catch a new one. It's really exciting, one I haven't seen before. I catch one that somebody else has that I don't have. For some people, it's about upgrading. So the more of these you catch, the more little candies and stardust you acquire, which is basically the currency in the game. So if I want to upgrade my Hypno to a more powerful guy, I have to spend this stuff, and then it adds to his stats, basically. So he gains...
But he's still the same.
Same guy. But what you can do if you have enough of those things is you can evolve them. So Hypno used to be Drowsy. And when I spent 50 of these little candies...
Drowsy looks like he's just going to sneeze.
Yeah, he looks like he's about to sneeze. And he's got a little elephant nose. He's kind of cute. But he evolves into Hypno. Right? And all of these guys evolve into someone. So not only do you have 250 different Pokemon in the game, but all of those can evolve.
Okay.
So once you've reached level 5, your collecting is still going on. You'll always be collecting.
Are you level 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll always be collecting, but then this is when you get into the gyms. So this is where you get to start. That's a crazy looking Pokemon.
What is that?
Yeah, that's called a Jinx. I don't know why Jinx is wearing a dress, but gyms are these more major locations where you go and actually battle your Pokemon against other Pokemon.
But how does it choose a location? Like Wisconsin Cold Storage is right down the street from us, and it's essentially abandoned, is it not, at this
Right.
point?
So this is what's really interesting. I was just reading about this.
In your Pokemon newsletter?
Yeah. So the company that originally created all of these locations, created the database of all these locations all over the world, is called Ingress, which is that spin-off company of Google that I told you about.
Right.
The CEO helped create Google Maps. The way that they chose these locations is based on popularity on Google and uploading of Google images. So any location where
that's actually very
people
fascinating.
upload and tag images of the location often, so like an interesting art installation,
church.
the churches,
one
lots of
of
places. They have extra tags in Google that make them easy to identify as a quote-unquote landmark. So they didn't do it with most businesses, although some businesses are identified just because people posted a lot about them. So
Right.
like I was down on Brady Street for a meeting today, and the Nomad, which is a bar on Brady.
Right, a great bar.
A great bar on Brady,
Yeah.
especially if you enjoy the European soccers.
I don't, but I still enjoy the bar. Yeah.
They are a Pokestop, which is not the gym, it's one of these smaller things. And the Pokestop is basically just a landmark where you can collect some extra resources. It's basically like a power-up. Like if you don't have enough Pokeballs, you can scoop them up
So
there.
wait, where's that? That's just the harbor?
That's the boat launch. That's
Oh.
right by us. I don't know why it's not loading up.
Okay. It says it's too far when you click on it.
Yeah. You have to be geographically really close to these to activate them, which is why
so you can't cheat.
I can't just scroll around on here and click a bunch of things. I have to actually go there.
Okay.
So with the gyms, you can battle it out, right? You take your strongest Pokemon and you put it up against this creepy looking Jinx. And there's actually like a little mini game where you're tapping on the screen and you're trying to make your Pokemon dodge and you're using its special power to make it fight this Pokemon. And if you defeat all of their top Pokemon, then you become the champion. And this is your name and your guy and your Pokemon are there, and I'm sure you get some rewards or something.
So
but then other players can see what a tough guy you are.
Are you
with your
competing
awesome
against
Pokemon.
other players at this Pokemon gym, or are you competing against other Pokemon?
Pokemon? But it's
Oh,
the
so it's
Pokemon
not like
by,
you and I could compete against each other.
To my knowledge, no. Unless you captured the gym, unless you are one of these top players,
Yeah.
and then I go and play against you. But at that point, it's not like you pick up your phone and I pick up my phone and we compete at the same time. It's you leave your best Pokemon there, and the computer controls it while I fight against it. So I gotta believe at some point that other version of Pokemon fighting is coming, where you and I would get to play against each other if we're.
Do you have to believe that?
I think it would surprise me if they didn't add that functionality at some point, because that's a social aspect of the game that I think people would be really into. But right now they're dealing with big server issues because they way underplanned for the popularity of this game. It took off so crazy fast that the apps are crashing all the time, like 20 times a day. The servers are going down. They just don't have the capacity to handle it. So they've already announced actually that they're not going to continue the global launch until they're caught up. So they just launched it in Australia as a test. And then when they opened it up in the US, it got so popular so fast that they couldn't keep up.
I believe that based on the fact that I feel like everybody in my work life, not in my personal life necessarily, talks about Pokemon Go all the time, to the point where yesterday I even said to the rest of you in the office, I need you to stop talking about it. I feel like you're all speaking a different language. I don't know what a googly magoogly jiffy pop is.
That's a jiggly puff.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's great.
It's the cutest of the Pokemon. Squirtle is pretty cute. Bulbasaur.
Squirtle?
Squirtle. He's a little turtle. He lives in the water.
I saved a turtle the other day.
Did you?
A real one in the real world.
Oh,
like an actual turtle.
You didn't catch him with a Pokeball?
No, I caught him with my hands because he was in the middle of a road and I was worried he was going to get run over. So I made my friend who was driving stop, and then I got out of the car in the middle of the road and saved this tiny turtle.
That's really nice.
I thought so. I mean, I just felt bad for it, although I did get heckled for it for
The other
rest
day-
of the car ride home.
The other day, Carolyn and I did not save a turtle because it was a giant snapping turtle.
Well, I know.
And it was terrifying.
But it still deserves to be saved.
I was not going to approach it. Sorry.
Okay, all right, well.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it lived. It was close to the edge of the road, but I was not going to hurry it along. We stopped and looked at it, but it was probably 40 pounds.
No,
it was a beast.
This one was small.
Yeah. That one.
I think he was like a red-eared slider.
Probably have saved that. A red-eared slider? It's like you're speaking a different language. I don't even understand what you're talking about
Don't try
when
and
you talk
reverse
this way.
Because I know what one kind of turtle is. The only kind of turtle that I know about.
You got to catch them all the Pokemon turtles. You love the turtles. But see, it seems to me like this is becoming a suite of podcasts. This is part of our Geek Education podcast suite.
Now, I actually do want to do a podcast on geeks, nerds, and dorks. Because
we'll
you have really great explanations on them. Mostly because you fall into each of the 3 categories, I do believe.
Distinctly, yeah.
And I clearly don't fall into any of them. Which I think we can...
We'll talk about that when we do that podcast.
But yeah, this was... In closing, I think I am not against this game. I will certainly never play it. I mean, I think...
You're not even going to try? You're not even going to
Nope.
download and check out your first Pokemon?
Nope, not even a little tempted.
Okay.
Not at all.
That's all right.
But I do like that there's a social aspect to it, which, as you know, is my hesitation when it comes to social media in general. Like,
will you
go
drive me
outside.
around while I catch Pokemon?
No, I will not do that. I also would probably not like it very much if we were, say, out to lunch and you were Pokemoning while... Is that the verb?
No, that's not a verb.
Oh. What
catching?
What do you call it?
You would catch them.
Oh, you catching Pokemon. Like,
Yeah.
I would not like that.
All right. I'll put it on battery saver while we're hanging out at lunch.
It's thoughtful. It's really thoughtful for your phone and our friendship.
Yeah, that's good. Well, before we wrap, who's our podcast pal going to be for this episode? Do you have someone in mind?
I don't.
I do.
You?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to shout out.
We rehearsed this part ahead of time, since
as just like every part.
Just like
that
every
we do.
part.
Yeah. I think our podcast pal this time around is going to be one of the bigger, not biggest, but one of the bigger geeks in my life, who's coming to visit this weekend.
Oh, big fan. Big fan.
My good friend, maybe even one of my best friends.
Wow.
Definitely one of my best friends. I have to be careful saying that because I get yelled at by my wife.
You can't take that back now.
No, I can. That's irrevocable.
This is out.
Unless he really
in
messes
the world.
up. Anyway, I'm talking, of course, about Chris Tarola.
Mr. Tarola.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see him this weekend. He is frequently the person who recommends cool games, movies, TV shows, comic books to me. So he's my go-to geek source. As long as we're dropping plugs.
Yes.
If you are a geek, I recommend you check out thegamercave.com, which is his website where he discusses the latest video games and movies and TV shows. So you can get access to the same great advice I've been getting about my geeky interests for a decade, straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think Chris is a horse, but
it's hard to know.
I mean, you're right. You know what else I like about Chris is that he's an honest guy.
Yeah.
He followed me on Instagram, so I followed him back, and he immediately sent me a direct message and said, "You probably don't want to follow me. You're not going to be interested in anything I post."
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And I did for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then I was
after
out.
the 15th post, there's just
Comic books.
Comic books,
Yeah.
just pictures of covers of comic books
I said,
that
you
he's
know
trying
what,
to
Chris?
collect.
We're friends on Facebook. I'll check out the cute photos of your family there.
Yeah. Yeah. Occasionally, he intersperses a picture of his daughter.
Yes, who's
but it's
adorable, by the
mostly comic books, as he aggressively works to collect, I guess, every comic book on the face of the planet.
It's a noble goal.
It's the current mission. So congrats to you, Podcast Pal. If you want to be a Podcast Pal, there's an easy way to make it happen. Like us on Facebook. Maybe write a cool review for our podcast on iTunes.
Send us some questions or listener mail. We're happy to answer questions.
Yeah, somebody just told us we need to start having listener mail, and I'm all about that. We'll take your questions live on the air. And by live, I mean we're going to record it and then edit the answers later.
Right. But first we need to get some listener mail.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So get out there, interact with us, and you know what? Maybe download Pokemon Go. And if you do, join Team Mystic. That's the official stand that we are taking as a podcast. We are supporters of Team Mystic.
Wow, we are not doing that. No, we did not discuss that.
We already did. It's done. It's established. We've taken a firm stance on Team Mystic.
I feel like these are the kinds of things we need to discuss in advance. Yep, just signing me up to support things.
Well, once again, you've invested a fairly substantial chunk of time listening to the two of us talk.
Which
I'm
we
Matt.
appreciate. And I'm Betsy.
This has been Guy Talks.
And Girl Rolls Her Eyes.